What's going on, patrons? So we had several of you guys ask about the washer dryer, like maybe some more detail about it. So there's gonna be some noise in the background while I do this, possibly. JJ's over here jamming out on his piano. But the pros to the washer dryer, obviously, we have a washer dryer in our rig. It's super convenient, especially with JJ, like getting things dirty all the time and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the main big pro, is the perk of doing that. The cons, I mean, there's some cons to it. If you come in expecting it to be like a normal washer dryer, there's some cons. Oh, I guess another pro too. So this is a washer dryer combo all in one. So if you're okay with stuff you have going straight from the washer to the dryer, you can just set it and forget it if you got the timers right on it. So that's pretty cool too. You don't have to like take it out and move it and all that kind of stuff. We had like a stackable or something like that. So that's cool. That's another good pro. The cons though, so this is the vented model. So it comes out the side. So if you get the vented model, which most of the stuff we read recommended doing that over the ventless, you have to vent that out. Oh, I guess another pro too, keep going back. We like just go back and forth the whole time. It runs off a 110 outlet. So you don't have to run like a 30 amp cord or anything super heavy or dedicated or anything like that. And that's really nice too. Because it's just, I don't think I could ever, anyways, it's back in there. In this rig, in most of your newer rigs, like it already, now it does need to be like a dedicated, like a, I don't know if it's 10 amp or but some sort of a dedicated line. It doesn't need to be sharing like the fridge or something heavy on that same line. So you do have to kind of pay attention to which one, but you can run a 110 and have it run back to the box, have its own breaker and all that. But that was already ran, and it's even labeled. There's 2 plugs in here, and it labeled the one that was for this. So that's cool. That's all it takes is that 110, just regular outlet to run it. The cons though, I don't, and some of these aren't even cons, it's just maybe just expectations. So it's like a third of the size of a normal washer dryer load kind of thing. So you know, we just kind of do, instead of doing like, if we had a huge version of one of these, we might do a load a week or maybe a load every 5 days, something like that. But now we have to do a load every 2 or 3 days, but not a huge deal, because even if we got stuff going on, we just throw it in, we set it, and then we come back. Which that's the thing too, another con, I guess, is it does take a while. A normal load takes, which in normal being is in like just regular cotton stuff and maybe some polyester and I don't know, like these shorts are, I don't know if they're made of polyester or what, but anyways. A normal load, not like super heavy stuff like towels, it's maybe like an hour and a half-ish, I think, maybe something like that. I think we would usually, and I apologize, these are all backwards, I know, but so you got 3 knobs. These are all your different modes. I mean, there's 13 modes on this thing. And if you can read backwards, you can also see that. I'll just verbally explain it, be better. You got a mode for silk, you got wool, you got, I don't know, delicates, regular. You can set it, if it's a heavy load, you can set it to heavy, and it kind of knows to maybe use a little bit more water, a little bit. Oh, that's another pro. Hopefully it's the last time I have to go back. It uses very little detergent. It's like 2 tablespoons of detergent. I don't know what a normal washer dryer uses, but it's nowhere near that low, because as another pro, it's super efficient on water. So it's more efficient, I would imagine, on electric, some more efficient on water for sure, and definitely more efficient on detergent. So you do save some money on that using 2 tablespoons versus, I would have to think 2, 3, 4 times as much with a normal washer. So that's cool. All that stuff's cool. But the cons, yeah, it take, yeah, anywhere, a normal load, hour and a half, a heavy load, 2 hours. But again, you set it and just come back when the thing's totally done. So that's, you know, I think I'm saying these are cons, maybe just more expectations. If you have like those expectations, I think you'll be okay with it. If you expect it to be able to do wash and dry within an hour and put in massive loads, like we can wash anything in the RV other than probably like the main comforter for our beds, super thick blankets, that kind of thing. We can still do towels, we can still do sheets, we can do almost everything, except for like maybe the heavy bedding. That's about the only thing that's tough to do with it. So we would have to look for laundromat or friends and family or that kind of thing when we do the heavy bedding. But I mean, that's not done like every week. So, you know, that's not a huge deal to us. You can control the temperature, warm, hot, all that. You've got just like a normal washer, dryer, or normal washer. You've got your hot, cold inputs on the back. You've got extra options. We don't use these that often. Extra rinse, pre-wash, low heat. I think the low heat, if you wanted to put just a little more oomph as far as the heat, it does take longer. You can do that. But you can also tell how long you want stuff to heat. So let's say on a regular load, I would have it just on number 7, which would be regular. Actually, we usually do 3 because it's cotton, yeah. So we do number 3, which would be cotton on a regular load. And then it takes, I've actually forgotten, 60 minutes, I think, is what we set it on for the regular cotton load. Might have been 80. It's either 60 or 80. But you set the dryer time ahead of time to match up with whatever you're doing. So if it's towels and it's super heavy, I would maybe have it on 2, which would be heavy, and that would maybe bump this up to 80 or 100 depending on what I have. And then you just come back in a couple hours, or however long it ends up taking based on the load you're doing, and it's done. And then if like it's not dry enough, you can just set it to a dryer only mode, set it for how long you want it to dry, hit start, and it'll dry. So it's got, in my mind, like almost any combination you can think of that you want to do. I guess another con too, I mean, it's like $1,100-ish. You know, which really, if you're buying a high quality washer dryer combo, you're going to kind of be in that range. But you could definitely find, you know, if you have the room to do a full size stackable washer dryer, you could probably find one used or something and save a lot of money. Sometimes you can find these used too, though. It's people like, and sometimes people sell RVs and they already have these in there. And you might be, you know, if you're really trying to save some money, you can just say, hey, what if I just buy the washer dryer? Because they're probably not going to get the money out of that anyways as a part of the sale. But then you got to go through the hassle of dragging it out of the RV and installing it. And that's kind of a con too, is the install. It's going to be tight. I mean, when we installed this thing in here, the video hasn't come out yet, but I mean, we had to curve, you know, we're curving around that, curving around this. I mean, almost every time I install, we've had 3 of these. We didn't have to install the motorhome that was already in it. But, you know, usually you have to take off a door or something like that. We had to take off this one door. So not, you know, it wasn't horrible, but I'm not, how's your, Hensley, you better get going on that breakfast, girl. Let me see. What you got left? You're doing good.
Help me.
Help you eat?
Yes,
I don't know how that's gonna work.
Yes.
VeggieTales. I'm doing Patreon, so.
They've seen me work.
I'm updating on the washer dryer because I know we had a lot of questions. You can remember specifically any more questions we had on washer dryer? I've kind of just talked about the different modes and you know, how we use it, what we like, what's maybe, you know, I know there's quote cons, but they're more like expectations and stuff.
I mean, you hear it from different.
Oh, the shaking. So it does shake. So these have actually, I was kind of like, when I saw it recommended to buy these, I was like, that seems kind of gimmicky. But to me, especially if you have like it tight in a place like this, like these are essential to sort of screw it down to the ground. Because if you don't, I mean, once it goes into, because it vibrates like crazy. I mean, it's small and it's like, it needs to shake like crazy to get that water out so that it can dry it all the way. Because the dryer's not super heavy duty because it's plugged into a 110. So without those, it shakes your rig worse. And in our situation, because I did a test run without those installed, it actually like started to get to where it would have bumped against this door. So I think those, we bought it, Dyer's RV I think is where I found the best price on this. Because there's like free shipping and no tax. Which free shipping, that's crazy. But free shipping, no tax, it was freight. And those are maybe like a $10 add-on, something like that. But yeah.
It's one of those things we get asked all the time. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it.
If
Like,
you've
you
already
have
got
the option for it,
Yeah.
I find it helpful.
I mean, we've got 3,800 pounds of cargo in this, and we already had the washer dryer hookup sitting here waiting for it. I think it's worth it. Like, but if you're tight on weight, if you don't already have the hookups and you've got to do something super special to make it work, I mean, you might want to think about it.
I think it depends your travel style too. Like we had the washer and dryer when we moved slower and had more hookups, and then when we decided to boondock for longer periods of time in the Airstream, we were like, because we had planned on putting a washer and dryer in the Airstream, but then once we found our travel style was kind of more boondocking, we're like, well, we're not going to really use it as much, but so maybe know what your travel styles.
Yeah, if you're not at full hookup sites, like know that too. Like it doesn't use a ton of water and a ton of power, but it definitely uses some water and power. So if you're boondocking all the time, you're still not gonna be able to use this. Like you got to be at a full hookup site pretty much
But
to
we
use it like you
kind
need
of
to.
boondock and then go full hookup.
Yeah,
Boondock,
that's
go
fine.
full
If you
hookup.
boondock a week, then go full hookup for a couple days.
That's what
or a
we
week.
do to kind of
Yeah.
hit a reset button so we can get showers and do laundry, and then
Yeah.
we're able to keep boondocking.
So it's been good for us. I don't know if I can think. I know I covered. If you got other questions, obviously just let me know in the post, and we'll answer those through. Because I don't know if this is like worth, a live chat session or anything like that. But at the same time, I have not gotten ready yet. But anyways, I think that's it. Yeah. Let me look at it one more time. Make sure. Wash, rinse, spin, dry. Pretty much. I think, anyways, same modes as anything else would have, and it's good. It's the WD 2100 XC. So there are multiple. This company does make multiple versions of this, and that's the one you want, the one we like, anyways, for what we've got and what's worked for us. This is our third one, so it's been good. We used it pretty heavy. This specific one, even in this RV. Right, buddy? Right, buddy? All right, you want to say goodbye to everybody? Insel, your breakfast is going to turn into lunch by the time you get that done. All right, catch you guys later.
Help me, please help me.
I don't know what that means, helping her with breakfast, but we're going to try to do that. See you guys later.